relevance post COVID-19. And I don't know what COVID-19 means to you. I'm not going to talk about that because I know that the other leaders have quite a bit to talk about in post COVID-19. But I mean, about COVID-19, about the coronavirus, about what's going on right now. I want to focus on how do we maintain relevance, because it's very important. How do we maintain relevance? And the truth is, whether we believe it or not, going forward, a lot of people are going to lose relevance. In fact, already some people are losing relevance, and that happens. That does happen. But we got to be responsible not to be in the category of those who will lose relevance. So let's look at this. Okay, so I wanted to play that. I don't know if some of you have seen it before, but it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder for us that things just keep changing. Things keep moving. What is relevant today might not be relevant tomorrow. What is acceptable today might not be acceptable tomorrow. The mice were able to understand that, so they don't sneak. But we are so intelligent as humans, and a lot of times we get left behind. Now, the scripture in the Bible that is very relevant for this topic. It says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted again?" How can you salt it again? He said, "It is then good for nothing, but to be cast out, but to be trodden under the feet of men." Under the feet of men. Now, there are 5 points that I want us to note here. Number 1 is that you are equipped for relevance. Every one of us. That's why it says you are the salt of the earth. We are all equipped for relevance. So there's no human being who does not have the potential or the capacity for relevance. Everyone has a gift. There's something that we carry with which we can be relevant to our world, no matter how small it is. And sometimes, I think one of the lessons that the coronavirus teaches us clearly is the fact that small or size is not a problem. When you say something is small, it doesn't mean that it cannot change the world. The coronavirus is very small, but it has affected the world greatly. Number 1, you are equipped for relevance. Number 2, you are responsible for your relevance. You are responsible for whatever level of relevance that you have in life. And that's, you have been equipped. How you now use the equipment is up to you. It's the knowledge they say is power, but I disagree a little bit, because the truth is knowledge is not power. It's the use of knowledge that is power. So what is the use of a gift if the gift is not applied to making life better? The third thing is that it is possible to lose relevance or to decrease in our level of relevance. It's very possible. And then the fourth thing is that we become endangered when we lose relevance. If a company, for example, is no longer relevant, that company becomes relegated to the background. It no longer functions where it's supposed to be functioning. There are certain things that it cannot do, it cannot fit into. So you've got to be able to check to ensure that you don't lose relevance, because you can become an endangered species when you lose your relevance. So what is relevance? What then is relevance? To be relevant is to be directly connected. It's to be in touch. It means to be current. Let me put it simply. It means that you are meeting a need. That's what relevance is. You are meeting a need. When you look at the salt we're talking about, the salt meets a need. It doesn't matter the size of salt. Once you allow salt to get into a pot of soup, it changes everything. It might not be as expensive as the pot of soup. It may not be as expensive as the things that are inside. It may not even be as scarce as the other things available. But once it gets there, it changes the dimension of that thing. And that's the way it goes with us. When you are relevant, it means that you are in touch. It means that you are connected. If you are a leader and you are relevant, then you are connected to the people. You are connected to what's going on. There's a lot of times when leaders are disconnected from the people and they are wondering what's happening, because they are up somewhere, the leaders, the members, and the people are somewhere else. There's no connection between the two of them. Sometimes also you see leaders living the world. Recently, I heard a leader in Nigerian space saying that I didn't know our hospitals were this bad. That's a leader who is not connected. He's not correct. If you are a leader, you should be connected, you should be in touch, you should be current, you should be with the people, you should understand what's going on there. So we've got to understand that relevance means meeting a need. The question you want to ask yourself is, what is the need that you are meeting? What need are you meeting? Now, I wanted to show some examples of some relevant brands. I mean, I didn't put some religious or spiritual brands there intentionally. But look at the brands there, and you might want to pick out, okay, what are the brands that are relevant and what are the brands that probably are no longer relevant? What are the brands that have lost their relevance? There's McDonald's there, there's Facebook, there's Kodak, there's Amazon, there's Nestle, there's Ebony Life, there's Coca-Cola. But I put Kodak there for a purpose. And you all know, if you were around a couple of while ago, you know there's Kodak. But today is no longer in the market for whatever reason. Somebody said, from what I heard, that they lost it because they didn't do what they were supposed to. They didn't make the change that was necessary. Because at one time they were relevant, but they lost relevance. That's what we're talking about. It's possible to lose relevance. But McDonald's supplies food. They're still relevant. Facebook is very relevant. It's in touch. It's connected. And they're making a lot of changes right now with the situation of things. When they saw that where we are now is Zoom, when they saw that Zoom was getting serious traction, they started doing some other work on Facebook. You need to go there and see they're bringing up some new things now. Why they want to maintain their relevance. So you and I also have a responsibility to maintain our relevance. Now let me do a little Q&A with us here now. Just a little Q&A. Now, like I told you, my job here is just to steer us up. The main course is going to be coming in after I'm done. Number one is, are you relevant now? And I need you to probably take a piece of paper if you can do that. Take a piece of paper and do a little bit of writing. Let's bring something out of our hearts. Be sincere with yourself, because it's you and you deal. You're not in competition with anybody. Are you relevant now? The second question I want to ask you is, what makes you relevant now? What is it that makes you in touch? What makes you current? What need are you meeting? What is it that is allowing you to meet that need? The third thing is, what is the impact of your relevance? Who is it touching? How far is your influence going? Who are the people in your neighborhood? Let me put it that way. There's a song I used to like those days in Sesame Street. Who are the people in your neighborhood? So who are those in your neighborhood? What's the impact of the relevance right now? Then number four, what is responsible for your relevance? If you have it, what is it that is responsible for your relevance? Because it's going to help going forward to know exactly, how did I come into this space? What is it that brought me to this level? If you know that, if you know it, that level of awareness tends to change a lot of things about a person. I don't want to rush through this. So are you relevant now? The answer is either yes or no, or I'm not sure. The second thing is, what makes you relevant now? Okay, I'm a pastor, or I do business in this area. I'm in the food and hospitality business. I'm in the medical sector. Those sectors are doing very well right now. You know, I'm into decoration and event management. So you need to ask yourself a question now that nobody is having an event. What can I do to be relevant? Those are the questions. I'm into makeup. What if you are doing makeup? Okay, what are you going to do now? Nobody is being made up as it were. So what are you going to do? These are questions that people should ask themselves. What is responsible for your relevance if you are relevant right now? Now, having said that, I'll just go to the next thing, and that is the pathway to maintain your relevance. If you have established the fact that, okay, I'm actually relevant, I'm in a place where I'm not in my comfort zone, I'm in my strength zone. Let me say that again. I'm not in my comfort zone, I'm in my strength zone. How do I then maintain it? Because one of the things that the crisis does is that a crisis creates distraction. When you are not in a crisis, you are likely to have traction. So you are focused, you are going in a particular direction. But when a crisis comes, it creates a distraction. It makes you to lose your traction, which of course means that you are losing your relevance, because you are no longer getting the result or doing the things that you're supposed to do. Productivity might just have come down. So how do I maintain my relevance? How do I make sure that my salt does not lose its saltiness? Because I know that if my salt loses its saltiness, it will be trodden under feet by men. You know, sometimes when we are angry that people are mistreating us, we should be asking ourselves the question, if I am meeting a need, it's very, very impossible for people to mistreat me. You know, even if you don't like your doctor when you are sick, it's impossible for you to be fighting your doctor at that point in time, because you know that your life, your existence at that point in time depends on that doctor. So what do? You need your doctor. Everyone is praying for doctors right now. Everyone, even those who have issues with the doctor, we pray for the doctor now because we need them. We need them. So how do I maintain that? Number one is purpose. What is the reason for your existence? That's a question that everybody needs to ask. If salt has lost its saltiness, what's the reason for salt? Why was salt created? It was created to season things. That's what it does. It was created to preserve things. So that's what salt does. It doesn't leave that space to go to any other space. We've got to be careful when we come to the function of the dimension of our life that is called our purpose. That's why we exist. And that's going forward. After COVID-19, your purpose doesn't change. That's what it is that you have been designed for. That's what it is, that you don't leave it and go look for something else now simply because you want to be relevant. If you are still going to be relevant, what you were designed for is still very important. But it's much more important. People look for jobs, and I always counsel that I don't think that what we should be looking for is job. What we should be looking for is work, because there's a difference between work and job. Work is what we were designed for, what we were created for. That's why if you read in the Bible, we're told that God gave Adam work, and the work was not for him to feed, because the food was available. It was there. Work never ends. People who find work never retire. They continue until when they eventually go to be with the Lord in glory. Why? Because they found work. You can retire from a job, but not work. So what I advise is that we must come to a level where we can allow our job and our work to find congruence. Because when that happens, then going to work becomes fun for us. So number one is purpose. We must stay in the place of purpose. We must remain in the place of purpose. We must stay with our purpose and stand there. The second reason, or the second thing to help us in maintaining our relevance, is what I call people skills. And this is very critical. I can't talk so much about this here because my own coach is here on that matter, so I'm sure he will get into that area. But I need to say that your people skills must be on top of it. See, people are different, but they are predictably different. We've got to be able to understand how to study people, how to understand how people work, how the dimensions of how people are. We've got to be able to work on it. People are different. There are two laws that govern the way we deal with people. There's the law that we call the golden rule. The golden rule says treat people the way you want to be treated. But there's another higher rule. It's called the platinum rule. The platinum rule says treat people the way they want to be treated. The reason is because if I'm not you, and you treat me the way you want to be treated, I'm not likely going to enjoy it. So that's why it's important that we must raise the bar in our understanding of people. Now, first of all, people are different, but I said they are predictably different. So what do? I've got to look at each person. The people working with you, look at each one of them in their differences and try as much as possible to deal with them in their differences. There is no one size fits all when it comes to human relation. And this is key. Now, people skills are important because people matter. And you see, we are coming out of post-COVID. A lot of people have been in one place for 28 days and more. So new habits have been formed. New values have been formed. New belief systems have been formed. Some of the things that they will do before, they won't do any longer. For those of us who are here, who are pastors, it's going to take a lot of energy to get people back to coming to church early at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's going to take a long while. It's going to take a lot of work for you to get people to stay longer than necessary in church. It's going to be difficult. In the same thing in the business place, people are going to say, I worked from home and I got results for you, so why don't you let me work from home? Or maybe I do 2 days and then come back 3 days. They're going to ask those questions. How are you going to deal with them? People's skills are very, very important when it comes to this. Now, there are different personality types with people, and that's one of the things that we do. The personality, some people are dominant in nature. They want to be the driver. There are some people who are influencers. They are people. They love people. Some people are steady. And then there are those who are calculating, who are more like critical in nature. They want everything to be where it's supposed to be. Look out for these kind of people and deal with them. Notice the stressors in their life and then find out what it is that motivates them. When somebody a driver, you've got to make room for them. Drivers like room, so make room for them. Don't take advantage of such people. You see somebody that they don't like it, that's their fear. They fear being taken advantage of. So if you try to take advantage of them, they will react. Now, let me move on because of time. The third thing is, if you are going to remain relevant, then you've got to take your personal growth as a personal thing. It's very important. And I know that a lot of times people like to pursue professional growth, which is very good. But you know what? My friend would say that if you don't grow yourself personally, the person you did not grow will sabotage the profession that you are growing. And that is so true. Again, we are talking about post-COVID-19. Post-COVID-19, some people are going to come to work and they are going to have some issues that you need to be able to deal with. It takes you growing personally to be able to do that. One of my mentors, John Maxwell, will say the only guarantee that tomorrow will be great is if you grow. That's the truth. We are on a journey. That's the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be great. So make sure that you are personally growing yourself. Now, what does it take to grow? I'll just itemize some things there. Number one, be intentional. Because growth does not just happen. You've got to be intentional, which means that you must have a plan for your growth. You must be ready to invest in you. If you can't invest in you, if you can't invest in you, it means that you don't trust you. And if you can't invest in you, nobody's going to invest in you. Like I say jokingly, if you cannot sponsor you, I won't sponsor you. Be intentional. What's your growth plan? Where are you now? Where are you going to be? What's going to happen? The truth is that some people are waiting for post-COVID so that they can get into the market. But you've got to be using the COVID period. I asked a lot of people. In fact, I remember that I had this chat with Pastor Ephraim, and I was asking, how's it going? He said, I'm working more than I used to work. And I was laughing because we're at home, but we are all working more. But some people are waiting for things to just happen so that they can fly out. It's because you're intentional. That's why you are here. And I really congratulate you for that. Be intentional. Number two, be aware. Because you need to know yourself to grow yourself. Very critical. You need to know yourself to grow yourself. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Try to find out your blind spots. Where are you in the arena? Where do you see yourself? What do you see of yourself? What's your comfort zone? And then how can you move from your comfort zone to your strength zone? You've got to be aware. And I mean being consciously aware. There's no point playing a guessing game with our life. Be aware. Number three, value you. And I like this one so much. Value you. I like this one because I grew up never knowing how to value myself. So a lot of times I needed people to reinforce whatever it is that I did. But I began to understand that, look, only me can be me. That's very important. Only me. Yeah, and the truth is that you are important. Only you can be you. Just go ahead and understand who you are. So value yourself. Because if you don't value yourself, you will not grow yourself. That's the truth. If you can't invest in yourself, it's simply because you don't value yourself. And I put a question there. Are you worth the effort needed to develop yourself? Are you worth it? So you look at yourself and you say, oh, I'm going for a training. And they say, the training is worth $10,000. And you say, it's too much. Oh, but you use the $10,000 to buy a car. But you can't put $10,000 on yourself. So who is more valuable, you or the car? Where is your priority lying in that sense? You tell somebody to buy a book and they look at the book, how much? He says, the book is just $1 or maybe it's just 500 naira. He says, it's too expensive. The question is not whether it's expensive. The problem is, what do you value? Where's your value? Do you value yourself enough to invest in yourself? Now, let me go to the fourth one. To grow, you've got to get in the right environment. Now, a right environment is called a growth environment. Growth thrives in conducive surroundings. That's the truth. That's where it thrives, in conducive surroundings. If a surrounding is not conducive enough for anything that you are planting, that thing will not grow. You can't take cassava now, take corn and throw it into the water and expect it to grow. It won't grow there. Take a fish, take fish out of water and put it on your table. It's going to begin to squeeze its mouth until eventually it dies. Take the same fish and drop it into the water and then you will just see it diving in the water because it's in its space. So you've got to know where your growth environment is. And that's very critical for each one of us. A growth environment, that's the only thing I can say here, is a place where you are constantly being challenged. If you are the top of the class, my mentor will say, then your time in that class has expired. If you are always the best in your class, then the time in that class might just have expired. So make sure that you are in a place where you are always being challenged. A place like this, a room like this where you will hear stuff and then you say, oh, let me think about this, and then you are moving. Make sure you are in that kind of space. And that's how you begin to drive growth in your life. Now, I can't shut down without saying this. And to remain relevant, You need the digital platform. The world has gone digital, and anyone who does not align becomes sidelined. The world has gone digital. If we don't align, we will become sidelined. Simple. You know, and I'll share this with you. 2 years ago, I just grabbed this idea. A young man that works with us, AOC, by the way, they are going to be running the harnessing digital solutions on this platform by the grace of God next week. And I think it's something that you need to attend. You just need to be there. It was fantastic the first time. They're having a good time. He just told me, he said, let's start doing something. I believe in leadership. He said, let's take over the airways and do something. So I started what I call leadership on air. And I was doing it consistently. I did it for 3 months. I traveled. I did it when I traveled. I was following the time, 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. I just come online. Who is there? I don't care. I just keep talking. I didn't even know the impact it was until one senior pastor called me and said, I like what you are doing. The other one called me and said, I'm following this. I said, this thing is really, really making sense. And I was just going. Now, when the lockdown happened, I didn't have problems coming on Zoom. I didn't have challenges. It was easy for me to come on Zoom. It was easy for me to go on social media. So these days, I'm doing something in the morning, in the afternoon. I'm able to do a lot of things because I aligned myself with where the world was going. And please let me say this to those of us who are especially pastors. We need to understand this. 60% of Nigeria, and in fact, 60% of the world's population is under 40. So the Bible says, go into the world. And that's true. Go into the world and make disciples of all men. 60% of them are under 40. Where do they live? 60% of them live on the digital platform. That's where they are. You preach one message in church to 200 people. They are not able to record the message. That's the end. Even if they record the message, maybe another 200 will buy it from you. But beloved, if you make one single statement on the social media, it's there. Only God knows how many people are going to come there. Recently, we had a session, and we just, on social media, and before you know what's happening, 2,000 people, 3,000 people were already on it, and they were watching it. And I wondered, how did they come from? We didn't even know them. They just saw it. The digital platform is real. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, for those who are professional. And this is the way I look at it. Facebook, Instagram is for those who are highly social. Facebook are for those who are steady. Twitter are for those who are critical. LinkedIn are for those who are professional. So pick it whichever you are. Make sure that you have it. Like I say to my people, if you are not on at least 2, you might just be missing out something. That's my thought. I might be wrong, but that's my thought. So the digital platform has come to stay. So let's do what we can to make sure that we engage in that media. Now, the ability to adapt will also help you and I. The ability to adapt. We've got to be able to adapt. Things change, and the only constant thing about life is change. Remember, somebody was asking me, say, what do you do in this time of uncertainty? And first of all, you need to understand that the only thing that is certain in life is uncertainty. Nobody is sure of the next minute. Nobody is sure of the next hour. We live in a world of uncertainties all the time. Every day, every moment, we're in uncertainty. Nobody is sure of what's going on, what's going to happen in the next moment. So what do we do? As leaders, we've got to be able to adapt. Agility is important. Adaptability. How to be able to just glide through the things that are happening around you. Look at this and then adapt to what you need to adapt to. Now, we've got to also learn how to maximize our influence, because leadership is influence. To lead, we need influence. To remain as leaders, we increase our influence. Now, I will close by sharing the 4 stages of influence. Number 1 is position. The 4 stages. Number 1 is position. Position gives you a platform to influence, and that comes from your role. What do you do? That's number 1. Number 2 is respect. Respect gives you permission to influence, and that comes from the value that you add to people. Are you a value adder? Let me use that word. Are you adding value to people? Number 3 is likability. Number 3 stage of influence, likability. That gives you the persuasiveness to influence, and it comes from your concern for people. How concerned, genuinely concerned are you about people? A good example, Jesus was totally committed and concerned about people. When he gave them the word and they were hungry, he said, how can we feed them? That's concern. Right now, if you are not concerned about people, the people you don't concern, you're not caring for now, will not care for you after post-COVID. And you need people to remain relevant. And number 4 is production. That one gives you sustained influence, and it comes from what you do for the people and for the organization. Now, I didn't say this to impress you. I said all this to impress upon you that indeed you can maintain your relevance, you can remain relevant for life, you can keep being relevant, and you can continue to increase your influence. I am sure that if you take note of some of these things and you work it into yourself, there is no way your relevance will crumble. I leave you with that word, and I believe that grace will go ahead for you in Jesus' name. God bless you.